Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
I'm Antony.
Today is day 2 in our environment category for this month. We talked yesterday about light pollution. That is our topic. And we learned a lot of details about it. First of all, it's man-made, a kind of man-made pollution. Sunlight or moonlight, these are not pollution. These are natural. But we have produced, people have produced lights that can be seen at night. And it turns out that this is not very good for our health. And some animals can really be hurt. Because if there's too much light, their rhythm and their system and their calendar is off. So they might not be able to reproduce, or they might fly in the wrong direction if they're birds and so on. We gave you some examples yesterday. Today we continue this topic, and at the end of our discussion, we will, as usual, review the main vocabulary items from day 2.
没错，我们今天要继续介绍昨天介绍过的内容，就是跟光害有关的。老师刚刚很简单的去解释了一下我们昨天所讲过的。那我们今天讲的东西跟这个自然光sunlight, moonlight 都没有关系，是我们人所造出来的这些人造光，这种电灯啊等等各方面的，那会造成的结果就会是伤害到人类的生理时钟，让我们晚上没有办法好好睡觉，甚至可以影响到许多的动物，破坏他们的生理时钟，然后让他们找不到这个回家的路啦，或是不晓得去哪里产卵啦，严重的影响到他们的这种生存。那我们今天要继续介绍更多跟光害有关的内容，我们赶快继续看下去。
Afraid of the dark? Many cities and organizations have taken action against light pollution. The International Dark Sky Association was founded in the United States in 1988. The nonprofit group works with communities around the world to preserve and appreciate the darkness of night. Entire cities, such as Chicago, have chosen to change their lighting fixtures in order to decrease energy use and improve public health. In Canada, bird-friendly laws regarding lighting have been passed, and many major cities turn off their lights during migration seasons. The town of Jasper, Alberta, hosts an annual Jasper Dark Sky Festival, which is popular with stargazers and photographers. The town has also recently changed all its public lights to the most environmentally friendly fixtures available. Light pollution is a social problem and needs to be addressed on a very large scale. But there are some things that individuals can do for protection from light pollution. For example, stop using your electronic devices 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep. Also, turn off any lights that you are not using, especially outdoor lights. Remember, there is no reason to be afraid of the dark.
Okay, now let's get busy with today's material. Our first paragraph begins with, many cities and organizations have taken action against light pollution. This is as people become aware that there is such a thing as light pollution and show its disadvantages, cities and organizations will be groups of people with a similar interest. Cities are cities. To take action is to do something about, to try to change something that is not working out well or even damaging, such as light pollution, which only occurs at night.
没错，所以这边的话，既然我们已经知道光害它的严重性了，好，第一段的第一句话就告诉你说，事实上 Many cities and organizations have taken action against light pollution. 许许多多的这些城市或是一些重要的一些组织呢，已经开始拿出行动，采取行动去干嘛？去对付光害这个问题了。
The International Dark Sky Association was founded in the United States in 1988. Now, it was founded in the U.S., but it's international. Light pollution is everywhere. So people concerned about that have founded this association, and they, as we'll find out, they have come up with very useful ideas how to lessen or limit this problem.
老师刚刚用这个字 lesson 这个字的话，不是我们说 lesson one 那个 lesson 哦，它是 less。好，本来是 make something less， 再加上 en 变成动词 lessen， 就是减轻的意思。在这边的话提到说 The International Dark Sky Association 就是它的全名中文叫做国际暗天协会。好，这个的话就是专门去管这个光害的一个协会。Was founded in the United States in 1988。好，是在1988年的时候，在美国，好，它突然之间有出现了这样子一个协会，好，它去负责解决光害的问题。
The nonprofit group works with communities around the world to preserve and appreciate the darkness of night. Well, they're not doing this, the people who founded the International Dark Sky Association, for money. They don't earn any money from this for themselves. They use any money that is donated to educate people, to show them places where there is what we call a dark sky. There are hardly any lights from any city, but that's way out in the countryside. But to preserve and appreciate the darkness of night, you don't have to be afraid of the dark. The dark can be very calming and soothing.
没错 ，soothing 这个字的意思就是让人觉得很舒服的 ，S-O-O-T-H-E 是 soothe， 就是动词，把那个 e 去掉变成 ing， 就是 soothing， 让人听起来很舒服的。听到 soothing 这个字，我会想到音乐 ，soothing music，好，让人听起来觉得很舒适的感觉。在这边的话，这句话说 the non-profit group， 好，就是指 non-profit organization， 指的是非营利组织，就是不是拿来赚钱，他可能会把捐来的钱去做一些教育民众的这些活动。Works with communities around the world， 跟世界各地的不同社区去一起合作 ，to preserve and appreciate the darkness of night。好，试着去想办法去保存 and appreciate， 让大家试着去欣赏 the darkness of night， 夜晚的那种黑暗之美。
Now, depending on the organization, they will work with individuals living in a community, like a club. They offer information about it. They can also work with governments, like city governments. And this next sentence is an example of that. Entire cities, such as Chicago, have chosen to change their lighting fixtures in order to decrease energy use and improve public health. So they're not just working with all the people in Chicago. That would be impossible. Chicago is the U.S.'s third largest city. It's just a little bit bigger than Taipei, as a city in terms of population. So it's a big city. Taipei, including Xinbeishi and Taipei and Keelung as one city, is about 7 to 8 million people. Chicago is 8 to 9 million people, the area. That's a lot of light. So really a lot of light. But the city government has cooperated with this organization to change their lighting fixtures. A lighting fixture is what you put the light into, or the cover of the light is also very important. Many lights are just, there's no cover and it shines everywhere. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of electricity because you only want your road or sidewalk to have light. But people have to learn how to do this, and the organization does this, so they will save money, decrease their energy use. Those lights aren't free. They're not free to buy, and they're not free to operate. So that improves the situation for public health because you don't have street lights shining into your bedroom at night, so you can't get to sleep very easily. And of course, it will help many kinds of animals as well.
没错，所以这里的话，他除了讲了这个组织的事情之外呢，他也提到之前不是提到 cities 吗？他说 entire cities such as Chicago。那老师这边就提到说，芝加哥呢这个城市大概是有800-900万人的这种城市呢 ，have chosen to change their lighting fixtures。他们决定要全部整个这个城市，你看800-900万人嘛，人很多，所以那个光害一定很严重。他把他整个照明系统好都把它换过了之后，为什么呢 ？In order to decrease energy use， 好，为了要去节能。And improve public health， 因为这样子的话，你那个光可能老师刚刚提到加了光照，这样的话只会照到地面啊，不会延伸出到你家的卧室，这样的话你就不会睡不着，那 melatonin 的分泌也会比较多，睡得比较好，这都是帮助全民提升他们的健康很好的做法。
All right, our next paragraph begins with, in Canada,Bird-friendly laws regarding lighting have been passed, and many major cities turn off their lights during migration seasons. Wow, that's really cooperating. Up in Canada, I say up in Canada, that means north of the United States, where Canada is, most of it. There are laws being made that help birds. They're friendly to birds. Many major cities. It's the big cities that really cause the problems, not your little towns and villages out in the countryside. These cities turn off their lights not 12 months out of the year, but when they know that birds will begin to migrate. It's very important, 北美洲. In North America, we have billions of birds, and many of them migrate from Canada.When winter starts, they fly south, and in the spring, they fly north because they can live in Canada in the summer. This is very, very important. They would die if they stayed in the winter in Canada. Canada is even colder than where I come from in New York. Cold.
没错，所以在这边的话，我们这一段里面就看到了哈，在加拿大，那这个地方，老师的话是来自 Syracuse， 在那个纽约这个地方，那他在加拿大会更北嘛，所以他这边提到说，在加国呢，在加拿大呢 ，bird-friendly laws， 好 ，bird-friendly laws 就是对鸟类友善的这种法令。Regarding lighting， 好是跟什么有关？跟照明有关的法令呢 ，have been passed， 已经通过喽。And many major cities turn off their lights during migration seasons. 只要碰到这种鸟类要迁徙的季节呢，很多大城市呢就会关掉他们的灯，让这个鸟类能够顺着他们自然的感觉，跟着自然光，自然的迁徙，而不会受到光的影响。
Now, he mentioned the city where I grew up, Syracuse. In Chinese, it is 雪城。
听起来就好冷哦，我的妈呀！
But now we're still in Canada. The town of Jasper, Alberta, hosts an annual, a yearly, Jasper Dark Sky Festival. That's its official name, which is popular with stargazers. To gaze is to look at something for a long time and enjoy it. Stargazers are people who enjoy astronomy, 天文学, and they like to see stars and planets and things that happen at night in the sky. And photographers. Taking pictures at night is really challenging. It's much different from taking pictures in the day, but your subject can be very different, and your effect of your photograph is quite different from a daylight photograph.
你有没有注意到老师提到 astronomy 的时候眼睛就亮了起来？好，因为老师本身也非常非常喜欢天文学，它的拼法是 ASTRO astro 就是 star 的意思，然后 NOMER 是的 astronomer 是天文学家。如果把后面那个变成 astronomy 的话，后面把那个 ER 变成 Y astronomy 就是天文学的意思哦。在这边的话呢，我们继续看整段这句话的用法。The town of Jasper 好，就是在这个贾斯伯这个地方，好，这个城镇。 Alberta 是指它亚伯塔省，刚好因为我那时候在那个交换学生的时候是去加拿大那个 Vancouver 那边，所以 Alberta 就在隔壁的这一块，很近很近，我还去过它那个 The Banff National Park，it's beautiful， 非常非常漂亮。他说啊。Hosts an annual Jasper Dark Sky Festival， 在当地他们有举行每年一度的，annual 就是年度的意思，这个贾斯伯这种暗夜星空节，然后后面逗号 ，which is popular with stargazers， 很多那种喜欢看天空的，好像老师这样子喜欢天文学的人，还有 photographers 摄影师呢，都喜欢去这个地方 ，which is popular 后面用 with。或是用 among， 就是指在这群人之中非常非常受欢迎，大家都知道这个节日。
Now we mentioned astronomy, astronomer. Both words start with ASTR. Good to remember because STAR is star.
没错，就是把这个 star 稍微调换一下顺序，变成 ASTR， 就是跟星星有关的。那样你去记 astronomer。Astronomy 这些字
astronomical
就会相对来说比较简单一点点咯。
Okay, last sentence of this paragraph. The town, that's Jasper, has also recently changed all its public lights, the street lights, the lights on government buildings, and so on, to the most environmentally friendly fixtures available. They have bought all new fixtures.And people say, my God, you're spending all that money, but you save money too because the new fixtures use less electricity than the old ones.
Yeah, 没错，那种感觉上不错。你的确是买了一批新的这样的照明设备，可是这个照明设备节能啊，长久下来还是可以省钱。所以他这边讲说 ，The town has also recently changed.All its public lights， 他最近呢，这个 Jasper 这个 town， 他们已经换过了他们的照明设备，所有的这种公共照明设备都换了 to the most environmentally friendly fixtures available。他们是用目前最新的 available， 就是你可以得到买得到的东西，目前买得到最环保的一种这种照明设备，他们把它买下来，把它装好。
Okay, let's finish up our text for day 2's lesson. Light pollution is a social problem and needs to be addressed on a very large scale, but there are some things that individuals can do for protection from light pollution.
没错，所以这边的话呢，我们就看到了 light pollution is a social problem。你可以如果说今天要换掉整个城市的照明设备的话，那不是我们一个人可以搞定的。我们这一段呢，主要在讲的是说，对，它是一个整体整个大环境必须要解决的问题。在这边的话，你看到 and needs to be addressed on a very large scale。On a very large scale 就是大规模的需要被解决。这个字的话，用 address 这个字来讲 ，we can address a problem。address 就是 try to deal with the problem。但是呢，我们个人那是政府的事，跟我们没有关系吗？不会，我们个人有个人可以做的事情。But there are some things that individuals can do。我们个人也可以做些事情。For protection from light pollution， 也可以保护我们自己不要受到光害的影响。就像我们昨天的时候有稍微提到说，有太多的光的话呢，晚上的时候会让你的 melatonin， 你的那个褪黑激素分泌的比较少，影响你的睡眠品质。我们可以保护自己哦。
For example, here's something we can all do. Stop using your electronic devices 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep. I know a lot of my friends, they use computer whenever they can until they go to sleep. It's not a good idea because that light is artificial light and it will take you longer to get to sleep. And the less time you spend sleeping, the less melatonin your body will naturally make. That will influence your health.
没错，所以在这里的话，还告诉你说，老师提到说，他很多朋友都是那眼睛用到最后一刻，在睡觉前都还在用那个可能手机啦，或者是电脑啦，但事实上那样会延迟你进入睡眠的这个时间，然后呢，你的身体的褪黑激素分泌的会比较少，所以他这边的话给你的建议是 ，For example, stop using your electronic devices. 尽量不要再怎么样 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep， 在睡前1-2小时还在使用3C 产品，尽量不要这样去做，这是保护你免于光害的第一个方法。
Also, turn off any lights that you are not using, especially outdoor lights. Now, here in Taipei, in big cities, most people don't have an outdoor light. But if you're living in a town or a village,a lot of people have a light so they can see outside at night, but that's not good for the environment, and it's not good for you either.
OK， 所以这边的话就告诉你说，还有哦，好 ，Also turn off any lights that you are not using， 没有用的灯就把它关上，尤其是 especially outdoor lights。老师这边提到说，很多人可能住在这种城市里面就还好，但在比较大的地方的话，它有些院子啊什么那些都是有灯的嘛，那个也可以关掉。因为它会对环境有影响，对你的健康也没有什么好处。
Remember, there is no reason to be afraid of the dark. There are many things we can be afraid of, but dark is natural. Half the day is dark, so learn to appreciate its advantages. It's quieter, there's less pollution, you can enjoy an evening.I don't mean stay up all night, but there's no reason to be afraid of the dark.
Yeah, 没错，他最后就告诉你啊，记得好这件事情 ，There's no reason to be afraid of the dark. 黑暗没什么好怕，你没有理由惧怕黑暗，甚至呢，可能还要拥抱黑暗，因为这样的情况下，你身体的褪黑激素分泌的比较多，你也会睡得比较好。
Right. Okay, we're going to finish up after this short break with our review lesson.Okay, our first item is the phrase to take action, a verbal phrase, and that means to do something about a problem instead of ignoring it.
没错，第一个动词片语我们学到就是 take action。take action 就是采取行动啊，去做一些事情来解决问题。
Number 2, decrease. This is easy. Reduce.
Decrease 就是指减少、降低的意思。
Number 3 is also easy. To turn off is to finish or stop using something.
Turn off 就是关掉的意思，我们可以用 turn off。
Number 4, annual, yearly.
Annual 就是年度的，你可以用 yearly 这个字来代替它。
And notice yearly, although it ends in ly, it's not an adverb. It can be used as an adverb, but it can also be used as an adjective. Number 5, photographer. Of course, the ER, it's a person who takes photographs.
没错，而 photographer 就是摄影师哦。
Number 6, on a large scale, is to look at the big picture, not just one home or one neighborhood or one community, but a whole city would be on a grand scale or on a large scale.
On a large scale 就是大规模的怎么样怎么样。
Our 7th item, protection, refers to safety or help.
Safety or help 在这边的话 protection 就是指保护，在这边的话就是指你的安全，如何保护自己。
Number 8, outdoor means outside your home. It may be nearby or it could be 100 miles away. It doesn't matter. You would be s outdoors.
这边要特别注意的是 outdoor 它是一个形容词，是户外的。如果要变成副词的话呢，你要加上 s outdoors. Go outdoors 就是指到户外。
Okay, until the next time we're together. Bye-bye.